Okay, folks, it's a Friday. Welcome to Journalist Hangout. I am Citizen Jones Hussein. Now, today on the show, Sanusi commends President Tinubu for removing fuel subsidy and ending multiple foreign exchange regime. And later on, we'll share this with you. President Tinubu tells National Economic Council to deliver economic growth. According to him, there'll be no excuses. I'm hanging out with Babajide Kolade Otetoju, BKO. Welcome back to town.
Thank you so much.
All right. We are joined by Adewale Adeoye. I greet you, Wale.
Thank you. Good evening.
So the team is ready. I hope you are. All right, then, to our first story. You know, in politics, a betrayal is a form of political backstabbing and a trampling of political ideals. Days after losing the Senate presidency to Godswill Akpabio, former governor of Zamfara State, Abdulaziz Yari, is still hurting. He says he was betrayed big time. According to him, he had over 76 senators behind him, even as he expected 15 of them to pull out, which would have left him with a comfortable 61 votes to nick the office for him. Now, Senator Akpabio garnered 63 votes to become the number 3 man in the country, while Senator Yari got 46. But Senator Yari should know that political betrayal is always from within, and then in politics, you lick your wounds silently. You did.
You've chosen to lick it publicly.
Okay.
And
it's about choices.
It hurts you the most when you let the world know that you are hurting. Sometimes, when you simply take it on the chin, they won't know the extent to which you are hurting. And it's actually lend himself to some measure of taunting by what he has done.
Yeah.
No, because when they know that it pains you, like when we were in the university, when you lose an election, people will, stand by their windows,
looking
screaming your
name.
Face. They say, "Oh, Babajide, born loser." So the best thing to do is just walk away.
Yeah.
If you show them that it makes you sad when they call you born loser, you've just lost an election.
Yeah.
But they will be calling you born loser just for losing an election. They do not know that you can still win the next election if you get an opportunity. But they will start calling you born loser from that first day. So
your test begins from there.
At that point, you start thinking of the next election. Let me show these people that I'm not a born loser. And then you contest again. We've seen people contest 3 elections, even in the university, and lose all 3. No, not everybody has the Abraham Lincoln capacity. Yari was coasting home to victory. I said it on this program. And at the time when people like Aliun Dume were saying they had 75 votes, they didn't realize that the table could suddenly turn. The table flipped suddenly, and Yari was the man to beat. Clearly the man to beat until election day, when the president personally stepped in. I know someone that Asiwaju met with 3 times within 48 hours just to get him.
Regarding that vote?
Yes, 3 times. And another person, what Asiwaju literally blackmailed him. Wow. They were talking about one person, and he said, someone with them said, this one has stepped down. Then Asiwaju looked at the other one and said, yes, this one too has told me that he has stepped down. There was no time that the guy said so. But you can't tell the president that, look, Mr. President, I have not stepped down. I didn't tell you.
So subtle blackmail?
Yes. It's part of, the man is full of those tricks. And he knew that if he didn't wade in, Yari will win the election easily. On election day, ask those senators. They counted, they did their head count. They knew they had just 50 votes. 50 people. it was Asiwaju that did what the Americans call get out the vote. Get out the vote is what you do on election day. Many people on election day, they are lazy. You have to go the extra mile to push them out. Tell them this is the day. Go and vote. Asiwaju was literally, when they had 50 people, they knew with 50 they could not win. Asiwaju was literally walking to those guys, bringing them closer, getting them to commit to Akpabio, and then sending them straight to where the Akpabio team was gathered.
Wow.
So many people, see the story of how Akpabio won this election, many people will never know. Unless you speak with the people within the Akpabio team themselves, who were terrified on election day, seeing clearly that they were going to lose. What I'm talking about, 4 a.m., 5 a.m., they were still working on some of the senators.
And you can imagine when...
so when Yari says he feels betrayed, it was because he thought it was all sewn up.
Yeah.
And then the people that he trusted, at the end of the day, Mr. President stepped in and got them to change their minds. It's as simple as that. This is politics. These things happen.
Oh, yeah.
So you have to be ready for betrayal if you are in politics. Akpabio too has every reason to feel betrayed, because at a point he thought that, look, we had this sewn up.
Oh, yeah.
But suddenly the momentum changed. And I was saying that, look, unless the president stepped in powerfully, Yari was going to take it. Because religion was deployed, ethnicity was deployed, everything, money. So it took the big man to say, look, I've supported my party. And the choice of the party prevailed. And that's what happened at the end of the day. So you win some, you lose some.
In politics.
Yes, Yari has to take it on the chin. There will be other elections.
Take the first statement you made. You lick your wounds secretly.
Lick it in privacy.
In the bedroom. Wale, you know, my thinking is this. Yari is northwest.
Northwest.
The northwest has the number 4 and number 5 positions. So to have had a Yari would have been an overkill. Or don't you think?
I think the highest consideration was for the stability of the political system. The Southwest has number 1 citizen, Northeast number 2. It
South.
Logical that the number 3 should come to the South, not Southwest, either South or Southeast. And I think looking at the individuals involved, South happens to be the logical sequence, in consideration. If you are talking about Northwest, the president that left just a few weeks ago came from the Northwest. So I think for the higher order of peace and stability, I think that was what happened, is good for stability and prosperity. When Yari is talking about his betrayal, it's not really betrayal, it's the power to negotiate. It's horse trading. And when you are in politics, the color of a man's teeth does not reflect the color of his heart. Neither does the expression of the man's face speaks to the, the thinking, in his subconsciousness. So Yari should be aware of that. Until the last minute.
You remember with the 48 laws of power?
Yeah.
Law number 3, don't show your hand to
as it is in war, so it's also in politics. In fact, politics is an extension of war. So it should not be strange to him that until the last minute, you cannot be sure of anything.
Yeah.
So I don't see it as betrayal. It's just, part of life. It's part of politics. So
and betrayal in this case will come from the inside.
Of course.
When he's talking about betrayal, he had an inner team. Some of them from his ethnicity and all that. There are things I don't want to say here. That he felt that when push comes to shove, we believe in the same dream. We are thinking the same way. We are singing from the same hymnal. He will never expect that some of those people will go back. And Asiwaju would rather target such people because he knows that once he gets those people, he will have the numbers to defeat the opponent. And that's what the man did.
Well, so to Senator Abdulaziz Yari, there's always a next time. Wish you well. Okay, to our next story. You know, as the new government takes shape, new appointments will tend to raise hope and expectations. President Tinubu has approved the appointment of 8 special advisors out of the 20 approved for him by the 9th Senate last week. A statement from the media office of the State House listed the appointees as Dele Alake, Special Advisor, Special Duties, Communications and Strategy, Yao Darazo, Special Advisor on Political and Intergovernmental Affairs, Wale Edun, Special Advisor on Monetary Policy, Olu Vehijen, I hope I got that right, Special Advisor on Energy, Zacchaeus Adedeji, Special Advisor on Revenue, John Ugochukwu Owajimogu, Special Advisor on Industry, Trade and Investment, and Salma Ibrahim Anas, Special Advisor on Health. Now, the list also includes Nuhu Ribadu, Special Advisor on Security. We are not sure yet if it is in the running for the NSA. You know, now, a team is as good as the captain. Wale.
Well, I think the choice of advisors, to me, is an indication that the economy is a focal point of this administration. If you look at some of the people that have been listed, you know, people who are involved in business intelligence experts, you know, the oil industry, people involved in small-scale industry, from the banking sector, like Wale Edun, you know, like Zacchaeus Adedeji, a Nigerian accountant, also a consultant in, you know, public tax and private tax. So I think it's a reflection of the fact that the focal point of the administration, you know, is the economy. The government seems to be desperate, if I can use that word, to focus on the economy, to deal with the economic problem. And I think if you can resolve economic problems, it's going to have chain impact on almost every aspect of governance, health, security, you know. And I think if you look at the list, I don't think any one of them has less than 20 years experience.
Oh, yeah.
You know,
Oh, yeah.
I think it's quite impressive. And I also think having women there, you know, it's a very good development. So I think this is a very good team. The special advisors are actually like technocrats. They are mostly the ones that will see the president, the first to see the president and the last to see him. The ministers are mainly political appointments. They don't need to see the president all the time. But these are the technocrats that will take decisions on, you know, critical economic issues that affect the nation. And I think from this list of men and women, I think it's a good team, it's a sound team. You know, it covers the critical areas. Having Ribadu as special advisor on security, I think it's a very good thing because some people have been talking about national security advisor. And there are observations that will generals, you know, like to listen to somebody who's a policeman, former policeman. Not that it's not competent, but looking at the tradition, national security advisor, people will respect, you know, people from the military.
And your country, my country, is not versed
but
with following tradition.
Yeah, with Nuhu Ribadu.
Breaking tradition.
You know, security, a special advisor on security. Mostly written with, you know, civil matters. And I think he's a credible person. His father was actually the first Minister of Defense, you know, in Nigeria. And I think he has kept his head above the, you know, the stormy waters, you know, from this record from the EFCC. And I believe he also assists the government when you are talking about fighting corruption, you know, given his experience. So I think it's a good team, you know, for a start.
Yeah, Jide, but I'm fascinated by the fact that 2 women are on the list. Olu Vehijen, energy expert and renewable energy investor. She has 20 years behind her. And the other lady, Salma Anas, public health specialist, 25 years experience.
Yes, and if you've listened to Olu, I'm privileged to listen to her make a presentation. You won't be shocked that Ashwaju went for her. She's young, she's very brilliant, and some months back, I was engaged to help train some of the spokespersons of the APC, and she was there, you know, to also lend a hand. And I saw at close quarters a very brilliant woman who would definitely be useful to our country. And you see someone like Dele Alake in that team, you can't be surprised because who is better at speaking, you know, for Asiwaju and for our nation at this time than him, because he's been with him through the years, through the difficult times.
Like Wale Edun
himself. With him. Yes, I was going to that. Wale Edun is extremely useful to him, and you can see what Asiwaju has given him. Is going to help him with monetary matters. These people, in my view, are just the transitional ministers.
Yeah.
We are going to see in the fullness of time that a good number of
real
them
deal
will transit from this position to ministers of the Federal Republic, because at this time, while he's putting his team together, he has 60 days. The law permits him, you know, to take his time, 60 days, at least, maximum. So these ones who work for him in the capacity of ministers, because I remember during the negotiation with Labour, some fellow was asking in what capacity are these people, you know, joining us in this whole thing. Now, these are they are advisors, special advisors, and special advisors are of cabinet rank. So that's to tell you how important they are. And the importance of these special advisors cannot be brushed aside. People have said that, look, the best thing is to find a general for the position of National Security Advisor. It's up to Asiwaju what he wants to do. No Ribadu left as an AIG, you know, within the police hierarchy, and an AIG is a general.
Yeah.
So I believe that he is qualified to do the job. I very much believe that he's qualified to do. If civilians can be defense minister, why should anyone think that somebody who rose to the top in the police, one of the best investigators, you know, one of the best crime busters, cannot do the job of, because the NSA, it's not as if the NSA will go into the bush with service chiefs and other people. You know, he is supposed to coordinate.
The NSA, the office is the clearinghouse.
Yes, coordinate these people, bring them together, get the best out of them. But we politicize everything. So now people are saying, oh, we generals take instruction. Generals, their oath of office demands that they should subordinate themselves to the civil populace. If I'm president, I'm a civilian. You can't say because I've not seen the four walls of an army barrack that you will not disobey me. I will fire you. Yes.
Because you have
I will send you packing.
to do.
I have the power. Who are you? You say you are a general. You won't take instruction from me, and I'm head of state. You are gone. I will fire you. So that others will learn from you that because you are a general doesn't make you superior to civilians.
To the CNC.
You are not even superior to the civilians. It's just the weapon in your hand that makes you think that you can terrify people that, oh, that you are superior to civilians. So that is an argument that we shouldn't even get into. The CNC will take the decision. He can decide to, after studying Nuhu Ribadu for some time, say, okay, I make you police affairs minister, or I make you defense minister, or I make you minister of interior. He is eminently qualified for all of those positions.
Yeah.
And if he says, okay, it's NSA that I want you, there's nowhere it is written in the Constitution that the person to take the job of the NSA must be a retired army general or must be a retired Air Force. No. There's no such thing in our laws.
All right. Gentlemen, Wale, mine is this. The two women and the experience behind them.
Yeah.
just reminds me of the statement made by the late Margaret Thatcher of England. She said, if you want anything said, ask a man. She said also, if you want anything done, ask a woman.
Both genders do things. Even when they are within the inner recesses of their homes.
Yeah.
Both genders do things.
All right. So we are going on a commercial break now, so stay with us, please. We'll be back shortly.
Home from work, in the busy traffic, your car breaks down. Car horns blast. Your car is pushed aside. You call for help. Phone battery blinks and dies. You take a cab. Few miles, tire bursts. What a day. Frustrated, sweating, and tired. Nearing home, darkness envelops the street. Wow! Just one house is bubbling with life. Brilliant lights, loud music, smiling wife, all welcome you.
We alone have light?
Yes, it's JRB Solar Energy Systems, my anniversary present to us.
No matter how dark life is, the sun is gonna shine on everything you do. JRB solar inverters, batteries, solar panels, solar street lights, and more. Telephone 0906 752 1111. Email sales@jrbsolar.com. JRB, the sun is gonna shine on everything you do.
New beginnings are always colorful. When we celebrate the start of life's journey, we marry in colors. With our proudly Nigerian Dulux paints, now available in any color. Express your world however you want it. Visit a Dulux color center to get any color instantly. Dulux. Let's.
Okay, welcome back to our next story. You know, to President Bola Ahmed Tinubu, confronting the twin monsters of fuel subsidy and multiple foreign exchange regime frontally is taking the bull by the horns, if you ask me. Former Emir of Kano and Governor of the Central Bank of Nigeria, CBN, Muhammadu Sanusi, has commended the Commander-in-Chief for solving once and for all the nagging issues. Now, the economist who came calling on the new helmsman confessed that the first reason for the visit was to congratulate him and express appreciation for the steps he had taken so far to put the economy on course. Excellence, we are told, Jide, is not a skill, but an attitude.
Yes, and clearly this old man has the attitude. I sympathize with people who did not know him enough. And
before now.
Yes, and some of the things that they were saying about him, they were clearly looking at him like someone without capacity, someone incompetent, someone who would just be lounging around in Aso Rock. But the boys who cover Aso Rock now, they are saying that they've never been in this situation. Multiple assignments in one day. Is receiving this person, you are obligated to cover. This other person is coming, you are obligated to cover. Multiple assignments in one day. And the man will sometimes not even leave his office until like past 8 p.m.
Oh, yeah.
You know? Receiving this, receiving that, addressing this, addressing that. So the energy that he has put into the job, many people didn't expect it. As I said some days back, a good number of our people thought his presidency would simply be signposted by a lot of Bala Blue today, Bala Red tomorrow. This. Since he came back from France, they've not had anything close to Bala Blue. We said it at that time that it was because he had not had the privilege of sufficient rest, because he pushed himself more than necessary. I remember even the NNPP presidential candidate, Kwankwaso, during the campaigns, warning Asiwaju that he was going too far, that he was flogging his body too much.
Yeah.
When those little things now manifest, you dismiss the person because of that. Remember the interview that Fashola granted. He said, you may look at him, you may look frail.
Real, yeah.
underrate him at your own peril. Some of the decisions that Asiwaju has taken are decisions that previous administrations were too scared to take. The issue of convergence of the foreign exchange windows. Even as far back as 2017, the CBN was saying it will do it, but they never had the guts to do it.
Yeah.
Because people simply could not live with the reality of flotation of the naira. Because the flotation of the naira would initially make the naira do so badly against other currencies. But with time, availability of foreign exchange will be guaranteed. Because a lot of people were hiding money, keeping their foreign currencies because they wanted to do trading rather than real production with it. They will release it, and availability will be guaranteed. The problem that we have in the forex market is illiquidity, and whatever measure we can take to address that illiquidity, no matter how painful, we've got to take it. At this time, it will go up, but after a while, it will stabilize. And when it stabilizes, the whole world will not be talking about the volatility of our forex market.
That's it.
They can plan. Airlines can plan. They can say, okay, let's do business with Nigeria, because we are sure, even as we are speaking now, investors are happy to come and do business with Nigeria because
are doing very well.
Very well. It rose to 2008 high after the sack of Emefiele. Look, I was reading a South African journal, and they are saying, look, this man is Mr. Go Fast. The pace at which he's introducing those reforms, nobody expected it. They were thinking he has to wait for some time. Now, he has shown his hand that I don't want to waste time about this. We've got to do it. The Naira will eventually stabilize at around 600 to 660.
At the rate we're going?
Yes. And once we have that, the issue of demand, excessive, because the demand for Naira in our country is unreal. People are simply mopping up the currency, waiting for devaluation so that they can make money. People who need this foreign currency to bring in raw material to use for production, they are the ones suffering to even lay their hands on it. People have friends in CBN, they make the currency available to them, they will be lounging and then get someone to go and change it in the black market, and they make tons of cash. There is no country in the world that I've seen, and I challenge economists. Because some people, when we talk like this, they say, oh, who is he? Are you an economist? What do you know? Which country would tolerate a dual exchange window with the gap as wide as we can see in our own case? At a time, the currency was 768 in the black market.
Oh, yeah.
Whereas we in the official market 460. That situation only encourages rent tripping and rent seeking, nothing else. No country of the world permits that. If you want to do dual exchange window, you must make sure that the margin is not wide, so that it does not encourage those who will simply be trading in the currency. That's why we have this volatility. South Africa, in years, their currency has been stable for years.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
Unfortunately for them, they rely on gold, not crude oil. Everyone knows the volatility associated with crude oil. But in South Africa, they rely on gold, diamond. From time, they don't suffer that volatility. Their currency is stable. People can plan. In our own country, we can't plan. The currency is not stable. And for that reason, you see an airline like British Airways, they're making up their minds to sell the Accra-London route ticket way cheaper than Lagos-London. Our lawmakers were threatening them the other day, and they said, no, it's because of the unpredictability of the forex market here. And it's one of the reasons many people don't want to invest here. because they need to be able to envision what they want to do. They need to be able to plan. When we now have predictability in that market, because the market will simply be decided by, the value of our currency will simply be decided by market forces. When we have it, honestly, it will move us straight on the path of prosperity, because investors will be happy to come and work. It's even beginning to happen.
Yeah, because the market is there.
Yes, it's beginning to happen now. So we have to congratulate the president for the courage that we will suffer, no doubt about it, but things will stabilize in the fullness of time.
Yeah, Wale and Nigerians, are we a patient people? But that's by the way. Now, add to what he has said, the fact that if we stabilize electricity, we'll become a producing country one more time, and we'll earn foreign exchange, and our naira will pick up. Or don't you think so?
We first of all need to admit that Nigeria is in a very critical situation at this moment. And what we need is radical intervention. The things are extremely bad for most Nigerians. You just need to go around the streets to know. So handing over this country to somebody who is not competent will be a huge error. But I think what we have seen in the past few days shows that there is a high level of understanding of the challenges that face Nigeria. Babajide spoke about the multiple exchange rate.
Yeah.
The other aspect of that policy is that if I have $10,000 now, I can go to Ikeja and change the money. Nobody cares where I get that money. So when you have that kind of market, you encourage illicit funds. You can't even track them. If you go to some countries, many countries in Africa, if you want to change your dollars, they will ask for your passport.
Yes.
They take records. But here, you just, because
they don't sell it on the street.
They don't sell it on the streets. So how do you trace drug funds, illicit funds, when you have multiple rates that, this one is higher than you go to the next place to go and buy? So I think taking that decision.
Words, our problems are caused by us.
Yeah. And by, political leaders that lack the political will and have a shallow understanding of the contradictions facing the country. So I think when you are talking about interest rate, the first thing is address is interest rate and then forex, the forex market. And if you look at the opinion of even the Western media, some of them that are even opposed to the regime, you could see even Reuters wrote a news analysis a few days ago, and you could see that they even admitted the impact on the stock exchange in the first, few days,
the opening days,
because the body movement, the statements of a president gives direction where the country is going and what are going to be the policy direction, and it's going to send signal to investors all over the world to say that a country that was almost talking to a patriarch state because of mismanagement, that there is a kind of a gleam of hope coming, and that's why you see investors all over the world now in Britain and all that. They are all talking, look, it seems there's hope for us to come back to Nigeria to invest. Even MAN members who have moved to Ghana, manufacturers of Nigeria, they are having a rethink. If you look at what is going on. So, and this is just less than a month. So I think we are seeing a transformation of rhetorics to action. And if you look at what is going on, it's in line with the policy statements he read. In the past, we have had presidents, they just read long statements, but in reality, the first 6 months, you don't see any impact. But now we are seeing some impact in the first 2 weeks. So I think it is significant. And probably it's also a reflection of his reputation as a chartered accountant, of global reputation. So I think it's really going to help this country if we are patient enough, and we continue with our constructive criticism in order to make the country rise up from the state of stupor.
Jide, and do you know that government is not the highest employer in this country? Textile factories are. Over 400 of them shut down. So you are seeing light at the end of the tunnel, and these factories are coming back, and so there'll be jobs, if you ask me.
I expect even foreign investors to come into that sector, because the reality is we have the market. The other day when I heard that one automobile company was going to Ghana, that they're setting up an assembly plant in Ghana, I was wondering, where is the market for them. They will still end up maybe selling some of those cars within the west coast of Africa. The truth about Nigeria is that we have a ready market here. Our population is a strength. Everyone can see how China exploits its population as a strength, a critical strength.
That's it.
France, Russia, they offer couple money to bear children. They give you money. They incentivize people
Reproducing.
I'm telling you the truth.
Except China.
I said France, Russia.
No, I heard you.
No, those ones don't. In any case, India has even overtaken China as the most populated country in the world. So, population is a strength. It's a strength that the Chinese are using. So, Nigeria has that strength, at least in this continent. The market is here. Look, if Nigeria can have a succession of good leaders, the glory days will come back. I'm extremely confident of that. I've been saying it for some time. The glory days will come back, and you will see investors, a deluge of foreign investors, happy to come and do business here. When foreign portfolio investors come into our country, this dollar illiquidity that we are suffering from will evaporate because they will bring in the dollars. Look at the difference that MTN has made. MTN is a foreign company. Look at its contribution to our GDP. Where would we be if we didn't have an MTN? So we want such companies to come. They will come, train our people, provide employment for our people, and generally help us to bolster our economy. And what these people want to see is the direction of the government. They don't want policy flip-flops. They want to see clearly that the government is heading in the right direction. That is what will make them feel comfortable to come and invest here. And I'm telling you, some of what Asiwaju has begun to do, the World Bank, the IMF, they've warned us that we should do. We were wasting time. Today that we've begun to take those steps, you can see
the music is changing.
Yes, even the moment CBN announced that it was going to float the naira, come and see the response in the stock market. Positive response. All the stocks responded positively because they know that in the end it's going to bear positive fruits. Look at the airlines. We can't pay them. Their money is trapped in Nigeria. We are the worst country where this has happened. So once we have once we attain some level of stability now,
that's it.
People need the currency for business. They will be able to access it because it will be available. The demand will go down because people can see that it's no longer like before when you just simply go and access the currency for the purpose of trading. No.
All right.
It should be people who want, it should be investors and importers who should be able to lay their hands on foreign currency without difficulty.
Jidebo here, Mahmoud is joining us from Lagos here. Mahmoud, good evening to you.
Good evening, gentlemen. You are doing a great job.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
Especially Jide and the rest of you there.
Thank you, sir.
Yes, I just want to contribute on the first topic of this year, a former governor of Zamfara State. I think if he's a reasonable party man, he shouldn't have even contested because, the president is a Muslim. Vice president is a Muslim. Himself, he wants to be Senate president as a Muslim. This country, does not belong to one religion. We should allow Britain to listen. And at the same time, when the president of the Federal Republic of Nigeria says this is candidate,
Mahmoud, we thank you very much. If you ask me, Mahmoud, I think the North Central should be complaining some more in the scheme of things. Many thanks. Okay, well, as we take this home, the visit is a welcome one.
Yeah.
By Lamido.
Yeah, it's a good development, and he admitted that the signs are being felt. He's a former CBN governor, no matter what anybody says, and if there are positive signals, he's in a position to know. But there are still many rivers to cross. Yeah. We don't need to deceive ourselves. The tempo must continue. Small-scale enterprises. China has about 140 million. Indonesia about 60 million SMS. Most of our SMS almost collapsed. Many of them collapsed during this currency swap introduced by the CBN for parochial reasons. Many people are indebted. So many microfinances have shut down. People are, these past 5 months, terrified for Nigerians. So it's going to, and that's why I'm happy that the CBN governor, there was no waste of time, no bureaucracy, to just suspend him. So I think we need such more decisive policies in order to be able to radically, turn around the country.
All right. Many thanks, Wale. We'll take a commercial break again, but please stay. We'll return and share the last story with you.
In today's world, our lifestyle, both at work and at play, depends on connectivity. Our connectivity depends on the devices that make it possible, and these devices depend on electric power. When power fails, our life shrinks, our work drops, and our joy dips. JRB Solar Energy Systems are here to ensure that we enjoy uninterruptible power, uninterruptible joy. Whether you're running a business, an institution, or just a home you return daily to rest, JRB has got you covered. No project is too big for our super digital inverters, long-lasting batteries, and efficient solar panels. Go. Dream on. Change your world. JRB solar inverters, batteries, solar panels, solar streetlights, and more. Telephone 0906 752 1111. Email sales@jrbsolar.com. With JRB, the sun's gonna shine on everything you do.
Get ready for an inspiring journey into the world of Nigerian media and the life of one of its brightest stars. Introducing Becoming the Queen of Talk TV, the highly anticipated debut book from Moriah Afolabi Brown, the host of Nigeria's #1 breakfast show, Your View. With over 2,300 episodes of Your View under her belt, Moriah is known as the Nigerian Queen of Talk. Her passion for speaking up for women has made her an influential figure in the media industry, both locally and internationally. In her first published book, Moriah takes readers on a journey through her remarkable career, chronicling her life story and swift rise to success. Mark your calendars for June 2023, when this one-of-a-kind book will be unveiled to the world.
In the month of June, the 4th of June 2023, makes it 27 years since the wife of the late MKO Abiola, Kudirat Abiola, was murdered. 5th of June is World Environment Day. On the 7th of June, the global community celebrates World Food Safety Day, while June 12 is Democracy Day in Nigeria. Also, June 12 is World Day Against Child Labor. 13th of June is a day set aside for International Albinism Awareness, while 14th of June is World Blood Donor Day. The 19th of June is set aside as International Day for the Elimination of Sexual Violence in Conflict. It's also set aside as World Sickle Cell Day. 26th of June is International Day Against Drug Abuse and Illicit Trafficking. 30th of June is International Day of Parliamentarism. Brace yourself for the month of June and stay tuned to TVC News for special reports and analysis.
Joint Task 10th Assembly wishes to thank President Bola Ahmed Tinubu and Vice President Kashim Shettima for their support toward the inauguration of the 10th House held on Tuesday, June 13, 2023, which saw the emergence of Right Honorable Tajuddin Abbas PhD as the Speaker and Right Honorable Benjamin Kalu as the Deputy Speaker. We wish to also appreciate and thank the following notable individuals for their support: First Lady, Federal Republic of Nigeria, Senator Oluremi Tinubu, former President, all members of the 10th House of Representatives, Chief of Staff to the President, the National Working Committees, NWCs of APC, APC, PDP, LP, NNPP, ABGA, SDP, YPP, and ADC, the 36 state governors under the platform of NGF, former presiding officers and ex-members of the National Assembly, captains of industry, the management and staff of the National Assembly, the media, all well-meaning Nigerians, signed.
Never miss a moment. Instant breaking news from all over the globe. Live streaming of your favorite programs delivered directly to you. Watch anytime from anywhere on your mobile or smart devices. Download the TVC News app today. Available on Google Play and Apple Store.
The Joint Tax Dens Assembly congratulates the Speaker of the House of Representatives, Right Honorable Tajuddin Abbas, PhD, and the Deputy Speaker, Right Honorable Benjamin Kalu, in the emergence as the presiding officers of the 10th House of Representatives. We also congratulate the Speaker of the 9th House, Right Honorable Femi Bajabiamila, on his assumption of office as Chief of Staff to the President and Commander-in-Chief of the Armed Forces, Federal Republic of Nigeria. We wish you success in your leadership and pledge to give you all the necessary support required for us to succeed. Signed, Rep. Usman Bello Kumo, APC Gombe, Chairman, Rep. Kingsley Chinda, PDP Rivers, Co-Chairman, Rep. Aliyu Sani Madaki, NNPP Kano, Secretary.
Welcome back, folks. Let's go straight quickly to our last story. You know, experience is showing that without economic development, any potential for political openings and freedom will be questionable. In realization of this, therefore, President Bola Tinubu has urged the National Economic Council, led by his Vice President Kashim Shettima, to deliver on its mandate, adding that no excuses for failure would be tolerated. Now, membership of this all-important council comprises all the 36 state governors with the CBN boss and other co-opted government officials. All hands are on deck, as they say. But first, let's share this story by TVC's Femi Akonde with you. Please come with me.
This inaugural meeting of the National Economic Council has already set the pace for the Tinubu administration's economic growth agenda. Vice President Kashim Shettima and other members of the council are presently faced with a difficult national situation caused by the implementation of the petrol subsidy removal. The National Economic Council resolved to provide palliatives, which will include a consequential increment in the salaries of workers.
Part of the issues that we discussed today is palliative measures to mitigate the effect of the petroleum subsidy through the NGK's program. As you are aware, NGK's program is a program that has started 2021, running up to 2024, and then is to provide some emergency and palliatives, social needs on so many issues ranging from small farmers, holders, MSMEs, and other interventions.
There should be an adjustment, consequential adjustment, estimated at 702 billion to 919 million 8 naira as part of the allowances that should be given as petroleum allowance to all workers, and as well as 23 or to 45 billion monthly offer to cushion the effect to workers.
The federal government may be considering a more pragmatic approach to tackling the many problems associated with subsidy removal. One of these is empowering the National Automotive Design and Development Council to reduce the consumption of petrol by manufacturing electric cars.
It is estimated that if we give legislative support to these companies, that about 1 million jobs from the 50,000 jobs that exist in that industry would be created.
The National Economic Council is also concerned about the impact of floods on households and livelihood in Nigeria. It has directed all states to come up with an action plan on mitigating the impact of this natural disaster and present it to the Council. The inauguration of the National Economic Council is already a pointer to how the economy will be run. But for so many Nigerians, the most important outcome of this meeting is the palliatives and how soon it will cushion the impact of subsidy removal. Femi Akonde, TVC News, Abuja.
All right. Many thanks, Femi. Wale, quickly, what interests me in that story is the fact that we are going to tinker with the issue of living wage for Nigerian workers.
Yeah, I think it's a very impressive development. But beyond that, I think the NEC meeting was also an indication that the president was setting an agenda, not just for the federal government, but also for the 30 states of the federation.
For the states, yeah.
Because he gave them a tall order. And look, let's work together to transform the economy, irrespective of your political leaning, whether you are in PDP, whether you are in Labour Party, And he spoke about infrastructure, modernity policy, fiscal policy, agriculture, that these, key points should drive the
Plus
economy.
electricity, too.
Electricity, small-scale enterprises, just like he said. So turning around the country is not the responsibility of the federal government alone. The states need to do a lot. You can't just leave it for everything is about the president. One thing that, gave me a good impression that we are moving forward, though slowly, is Twitter. I follow the president on Twitter almost, and I get the alerts. Sometimes one day I get about 10. Today I met with so. 1 hour later, I should argue the president is tweeting again. So, and at least I've been in this country for a long time. I've never had, and I follow almost every president. You may not even get tweets from a president for 2 weeks. So, but almost every, a day you can get about 10, meeting different groups of people, economic this, economic that, So I think the statistics of the federation needs to work with the federal government and to work with the same speed.
The time is now.
Yes, work with the same speed with the federal government.
Did all hands on deck?
Yes, even before Labour, represented by TUC, asked for salary increase, Ashwaju, in his meeting with the APC governor, said it's time for us to take a second look at the minimum wage because we have to bring it in line with current realities. So I'm like, when we're talking about a minimum wage, the federal government will bear the bulk of the brunt. Permit my pun. But here is the symbolization of the federal government leading the way and saying, look, we have to do this.
That's it.
Now, it means that, yes, he realizes that despite that they've come up with these difficult policies, these painful policies, we have to do something to mitigate its effect on the ordinary Nigerian, and that's what they are doing. So the governor of Bauchi was talking about consequential adjustment to those wages, which will account for 702 billion and another 40-something billion on a monthly basis. So we will earn money when you stop paying subsidy. What the NMPC will remit to the federation account will be bigger.
Enough.
But now they have to set aside some of it for the workers and for the ordinary Nigerian. If you revitalize the economy, if you energize the economy, the private sector will also benefit tremendously. They will be able to hire people. They will be able to pay good wages. And the sacking of workers that a difficult economy naturally causes to happen, we won't see a lot of that.
Jide, we must go. Wale, thank you.
Thank you.
Wale and Jide, Sunday, I understand, is the Father's Day. So as fathers and my humble self, I want to say, all fathers in the country, this is the time. Show yourself.
Stay at home, Abby.
Stay at home. All right, that's our show for today. But if you missed any part of it, join us at 11 later tonight. And of course, on Sunday, as I always say, we expand the field for you from 1:30. We are also on YouTube at youtube.com/TVC News Nigeria. I am Citizen Jones Hussein. Bye-bye now.
With total submission and gratitude to God for a life well spent, we announce the transition to glory of Mr. Tolu Ogunkoya, whose sad event occurred on the 25th of April, 2023. Burial events are as follows. Service of songs comes up at the Redeemed Christian Church of God, the Sanctuary, Tom Allen Center, Stratford, London, date Tuesday, the 6th of June, 2023, at 6:30 p.m. Funeral service takes place at Greenacres, Epping Forest, Kiln Road, North Weald, Bassett, Essex, United Kingdom, on Wednesday the 7th of June, 2023, at 11 a.m. There will be a night of tributes on Tuesday the 13th of June, 2023, at Shiva Center, 20 Mobilaji, Bank Anthony Way by FCMB, at 5 p.m. This will be followed by a commendation service on Thursday the 15th of June, 2023, at the Chapel of Christ, The Light, IPM Road, Alausa, at 10 a.m. He is survived by wife, children, brothers, uncles, aunts, and cousins.
The following is a paid presentation by ShopX TV.
Do you spend the night trying to get comfortable? Your knees rub bone on bone. Your back and hips ache. You wake up in pain? Not anymore. ShopX TV is proud to introduce the Contour Legacy Pillow, the patented, ergonomically designed tapered leg pillow that naturally fits the contours of your legs, knees, and thighs to help align your spine and alleviate pain. Watch, when you sleep on your side, your leg falls forward, twisting your pelvis and lower back, putting pressure on your spine, hip, and sciatic. But the Contour Legacy Pillow cushions your knees and cradles your legs, relieving stress on joints while restoring your lower back alignment. Sleeping on your side, your leg comes over and puts you out of alignment, causing lower back pain, hip pain, even knee pain. By using the Contour Legacy Pillow, it restores the natural alignment of the spine, helping to alleviate pain and pressure, leading to much more restful sleep. Old-fashioned leg pillows are bulky, but the anatomical design of the Legacy Pillow fits perfectly the shape of your body the way nature intended. You can even use two together for full leg alignment. Legacy Pillow is exclusively ventilated, so it always stays cool and dry. With top crescent design, it cuddles up to you perfectly and easily moves with you. Ordinary pillows go flat, but the Legacy Pillow is made up of soft memory foam, so it never loses its shape and the cover is machine washable. The Contour Legacy Pillow is now available in Nigeria, exclusively from ShopX TV. You could be paying up to 500,000 naira for an orthopedic bed that doesn't properly support your spine. But call the number on your screen now and get 2 Legacy leg pillows for just 69,900 naira. And get relief from back and hip issues. But wait! If you call now, we'll upgrade you to the Contour Better Sleep Collection. The collection comes with 2 Contour Legacy leg pillows and 2 Contour Cool Gel head pillows at no extra charge. The Contour Cool Gel head pillows' soothing orthopedic support will cradle your head and neck for full alignment, while keeping you cool all through the night for the best sleep of your life. Incredible! That's 2 Contour Legacy pillows and 2 Cool Gel head pillows for just 69,900 naira. And that's not all. Place your order now and we'll also deliver your Contour Better Sleep collection with no shipping charge. But hurry! This is an exclusive ShopX TV offer and only available for a limited period. So, call now while stock lasts. Your rest is your wealth.
The proceeding was a paid presentation brought to you by ShopX TV.
At TVC News, wherever the big news story is happening, we're geared up to break it. TVC News, first with breaking news.
It's day 18 of President Bola Ahmed Tinubu's presidency, and we are monitoring closely his first 100 days in office. I am Nifemi Oguntoye. Thank you for joining us on the program. Former Niger Delta agitator and prominent political figure Asari Dokubo was at the State House today to meet President Bola Tinubu. During his meeting, the former agitator accused the military of oil theft in the Niger Delta. Recall that President Tinubu held consultations yesterday with some leaders from the Niger Delta region, including former Managing Director of the Niger Delta Development Commission, Timi Alaibe, and former Director General of the Nigerian Maritime Administration and Safety Agency, Dakuku Peterside.
Oil theft and vandalization in the Niger Delta. We are going to work with NNPC, PCL, and the IOCs to make sure that oil theft is brought to zero. I also want to say that oil theft is encouraged by the military. The military is at the center of oil theft. And we have to make this very, very clear to the Nigerian public. 99% of oil theft can be traced to the Nigerian military, the Army and the Navy especially. The Army and the Navy intimidate the civil defense, who are by status the people who are supposed to guard these pipelines. They receive a lot of money from NNPC, PCL, and the IOCs, and just across the corner, you will see a houseboat. A few meters from the houseboat, you will see an oil bunkering refinery or tapping directly from oil well heads. It is very pathetic now. What is happening in the Niger Delta in the past 8 years was unprecedented in the history of oil production anywhere in the world. The vandals do not only attack the pipelines, they have migrated from the pipeline and have gone directly to the oil well heads.
Former Niger Delta agitator Asari Dokubo there earlier at the presidential villa. State House correspondent Femi Akonde is live at the presidential villa for more on that development. Femi, that's some huge indictment coming from Asari Dokubo. Did he give more clarity as to the substance of these allegations?
Nifemi, that's vintage Asari Dokubo, fearless and very vocal. Well, he said that these allegations are real because he says there's little or no collusion from members of the community because they do not have the wherewithal, they do not have the resources to steal crude oil in the manner in which it is being done in the Niger Delta. He says that these oil thieves come with huge vessels on the high sea and go directly to the oil wellheads. They have the equipment that is needed to help them siphon the oil from the wells into the vessels and then off outside the shores of Nigeria. I know these equipments are very expensive. They do not come cheap. So he is saying that members of the community have been wrongly accused of being oil thieves. He said if it's about vandalism, then indeed some members of the community might be complicit in that. But the organized crime of oil theft, the economic sabotage of stealing Nigeria's crude oil that has drastically reduced the country's oil revenue is being perpetrated by members of the military, specifically, says the Navy and the Army. We are expected to hear reactions from the Nigerian Armed Forces very soon. We expect them to react to these weighty allegations. We might also expect to see a panel of inquiry. We are expecting to see see maybe heads will roll. But one thing he has said, as Asari Dokubo told us, is that he told Mr. President about this, and President Bola Tinubu, the Commander-in-Chief of the Armed Forces, has promised to take decisive action to ensure that this issue of oil theft, the economic crime of oil theft, is brought to an end in Nigeria. And you know, President Bola Tinubu has also complained about this oil theft. He talked about it when he even campaigned in the Niger Delta. He has also been concerned about how this has eaten so deep into the revenue generated from the sale of crude oil in the country. Trillions of naira is lost every year to oil theft in the Niger Delta region. Asari Dokubo is saying that he is ready to help, but he said that, well, they can only help if indeed the federal government also shows that political will. And he is saying that he knows President Bola Tinubu. They have come a long way. They've had more than 3 decades of friendship and a good relationship. That he is certain that President Bola Tinubu has that political will to bring the issue of oil theft in the Niger Delta to an end. And you recall that he has always said that he should be held responsible if President Bola Tinubu fails. He reiterated that again today, that he's very sure, he's certain that President Bola Tinubu will succeed and would also be able to bring the issue of oil theft in the Niger Delta to an end. But for the military, we are waiting for their response, and we are waiting to see if indeed people will be fired, some officers will be moved from the Niger Delta to other places, or if indeed disciplinary action will be taken against people found culpable in these.
A lot of reactions are expected to trail the very bold pronouncement by the former Niger Delta agitator. He had more to say. Let's just hear him out as regards the position of stakeholders in this regard.
The president is a strong president. He's a commander-in-chief of the armed forces. He's going to take decisive action to get these rotten eggs. It's not the old army and the navy. There are a few who have this entitlement mentality. A better persona, I get power persona, I get people where they up, where go to cover me. The president is going to remove them and make it possible for the people of this country to benefit. For instance, Emefiele is gone, Bauer is gone. So more heads will roll. Those who are standing as an impediment to the good and progress of this country. The president will not dilly-dally with them. He will not do CCCC with them. He's going to put and kick them out. And when he does that, we will have the unfettered power, encouragement to get rid of oil theft, which all my brothers in the Niger Delta, all of us have agreed.
Femi, he's talking about working with stakeholders to ensure that oil theft is brought to zero. I'm just wondering in what capacity he's speaking from.
Yes, you know, he's a leader of Niger Delta activist groups. He's also a major Niger Delta activist. He has been in the front line agitating for issues in the Niger Delta, the environmental degradation, asking for compensation, asking for a fair share to be given to the people of the Niger Delta. He says there's so much deprivation in their area. So he has been a voice for the people of the Niger Delta. What he is saying now is that they are the people from the area. They come from this oil-rich community. They know who the thieves are. They know all the nooks and crannies of the creeks in the Niger Delta, and they'll be ready to partner with the federal government, with the armed forces, by providing intelligence, also following them on some kind of raids on the high sea to ensure that people who are involved in oil theft are apprehended. He also says in the area of security that they are ready and willing to partner with the federal government to ensure that the issue of security, not only in the Niger Delta, but across the country, is brought to an end. In the southeast, he talked about the north central area, and he talked about efforts that he has also put in terms of collaboration with the members of the armed forces and security agencies to nip the security situation in some parts of the country in the board. He says he's willing to continue to do that. He has so much confidence in President Bola Tinubu's ability to tackle the issue of security. He talked about the issue of security in the southeast, and he was asked if he thinks the unconditional release of the leader of the proscribed indigenous people of Biafra, Nnamdi Kanu, would bring calm or restore calm to the southeast region. He says he doesn't share that view that the leader of IPOB, Nnamdi Kanu, should be held for his crime. He should be made to face the law. He says if he is unconditionally released, that would be giving a validation to criminality. That would be endorsing killings, destructions, and crimes, and also some kind of incitement to violence that Nnamdi Kanu is being accused of. So he says that Nnamdi Kanu should be made to face the law, that there are other alternatives to finding lasting peace in the southeast. He does not agree that the release of Nnamdi Kanu should be considered. Nifemi.
Absolutely. The president met with service chiefs talking about oil theft in that region of the country. He also held similar consultations with some leaders of the Niger Delta region yesterday, including former managing director of the NDDC and former director general of the Nigerian Maritime Administration and Safety Agency. We're looking forward to see what the federal government will be able to achieve in this regard. Quickly, Femi, we understand that business mogul Aliko Dangote was at the State House today. What more have you learnt about his meeting with the president?
Well, that's a private visit to President Bola Tinubu. We don't know the details of that meeting with the president. And this is also the first time we'll be seeing him in the presidential villa to meet President Bola Tinubu since after the inauguration on the 29th of May. But you know, he told us that he will return on Tuesday next week. He's going to come here to the presidential villa with Bill Gates. So we believe when they meet President Tinubu on Tuesday, they will discuss interventions of the Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation in partnership with the Dangote Foundation. Their interventions in areas of healthcare, basic primary healthcare, and they would also give him a status brief about their interventions in that regard, and also forge ahead and strengthen partnership and collaboration between the federal government and the Bill, Melinda Gates and Dangote Foundation towards providing affordable, accessible, and ensuring universal health coverage in Nigeria. Nifemi.
State House correspondent Femi Akonde live for us from the presidential villa. Good to see you, Femi. When we return from this break, we'll be talking business, turning our attention to the operational changes to the foreign exchange market by the CBN. Stay with us.
Bola Ahmed Tinubu, do solemnly swear
Well, President